I glow in the dark, folks. You didn't know that, but I glow in the dark. Hi everyone. So we did an unboxing and I showed you all these lights and talked about why you need a light and what the advantages to the solar lights are. And now, since then, for about a week now, I've been testing them and I'm going to give you my first initial impressions. Now what I'd like to do is keep them and use them long term and then give you more impressions as time goes on. And especially long term. See, that's one of the most important things. Sure, they work great for a week. Wouldn't you expect them to? But will they work great for 6 months or a year or 2 or 3 or 4? That's what really you want to know, and I can't tell you that yet, but I'll tell you what I do know, and then we'll come back and talk to you later. We have clear winners and losers, and middle ground. You know, there's always the middle ground. First, let me tell you my testing methodology. This is it. I set them out in the sun all day, and then at the same time at night I took them in the van and turned them all on and just watched to see how long they lasted, how much light they produced, and there were some really clear winners and losers right off the bat. Let's talk about the clear losers. First and foremost was the Goal Zero. At 20 bucks, it was as expensive as all the lights. It produces very little light, and it doesn't last long at all. I mean, 2 or 3 hours. It lasted so short, I honestly have to wonder if it's defective. They can't think this is a product worth owning. But you look at the tiny little solar panel on it, and so the solar panel, I don't know if the battery is tiny or what, it just doesn't last. This is not worth buying. Do not buy the Goal Zero. Period. I can't, unless this is defective, and I'm not returning it and getting a new one to test it. All I can tell you is I bought one with my own money. I bought all these with my own money and tested it, and it's not worth owning. Don't buy the Goal Zero. And then there were these, and these are actually a very good deal. These are the Tongs Soren 2-pack, and the two of them are $18, and that means they're $8 a light. And they worked, they always worked, but they produce so little light that they're not worth owning. I don't even, it's $18 thrown away. They come on automatically. They just don't produce enough light to be useful. Either one of them. And the two of them together don't produce enough light to be useful. These just aren't worth owning. So don't buy these. So these right off the bat, I can tell you, they're just not worth buying. Now, these two are kind of in the middle. This one, it turns out, this is the Sawaki LED camping lantern for 17 bucks. Oh, look at that. I don't have the solar panel up. No wonder this one's not charging. But I have. Whenever I've tested them, I've always had the solar panel up. We moved it for this video, and so I didn't set it up right afterwards. This one puts out a pretty good amount of light, and it lasts about half as long as the others. And so, to my mind, that means don't buy it, because it would last about 2 or 3 hours, and it put out a decent amount of light. Now, the one thing I really like about the Sawaki, let me show you the name, the Sawaki light, was that if you smash it together, there's a bulb. The bulb is down here, and if you smash it together and snap it, the bulb becomes a flashlight. And it's a really pretty good flashlight. It's not super bright or anything, but at night, let me turn it on. I don't know if you probably can't see the bulb from the light from there. So I'm shooting right into the sun. You probably can't see it, but I would buy this as a flashlight. And you don't care how long a flashlight lasts, because if you use it as a flashlight and you put it in the sun every day and every night when you go to use it, it'll be full. And if it lasts 2 or 3 hours, well, you don't use a flashlight for 2 or 3 hours. So this might be worth buying as a flashlight and as a supplementary light. It's the Sawaki LED rechargeable lantern. Now, it put out a decent amount of light. Its lantern is very good, and it's USB rechargeable. So just as a flashlight, a USB chargeable, and a solar rechargeable, I would buy it for that reason alone, and I really would. This is a good light. It puts out a good amount of light, and it doesn't last as long as the others. So for that reason, I'm not putting it in a highly recommended. I'm just saying it does work. It's got a big solar panel. I didn't care for the frosted. The frosted means it's a soft light. It won't bother you if you look at it. It's not a bad light, no problem. If you buy it, it's the most expensive light, and so for the most expensive light, I would want the best light, and it is not. So it's USB rechargeable, and so that's good. It's a pleasant light. It's soft, and all in all, I wouldn't buy it. I think these others are better, and so I would buy them. But it's not a bad light, but it's the most expensive, and therefore I don't think it's worth buying. Then we have these three, and you can just look at them and see that these have the biggest light, the biggest solar panels. This one is monstrous. These two are the next biggest of these, and they're tiny by comparison. It lasted a long time, almost as long as this is the Luci, and this is the clear Luci, and I actually prefer the clear. You're going to get a lot more light. It's because it's a little bit weird light, but I liked it, and to me this is the winner. The Luci is probably the winner. It lasted 6 hours. The sun is going down by 6 o'clock. It's dark. They're not producing any electricity at 6 o'clock. And I usually go to bed about midnight. So I would take it in the van, turn them all on. This would be giving usable light at midnight. That's a lot of light. And because it's clear and not frosted, I got the most light. By far, this was the winner. The Luci light was the winner. Made by Empower. That's the actual name. It's 1995. To my mind, this was the winner. Now, these two were a very, very close second. I love that solar panel. I mean, it's big. This is a Morsky LED camping light, and it's also 1995, but gives you this huge solar panel. And it has an advantage that the Luci light does not have, and so you should buy this instead. And here's the advantage. It charges by USB. So, and it uses a micro USB, and you can see I've got it charging right there. And you can charge anything that will be charged by a micro USB. So you could charge other things besides the light. The light's the big. I think this put out the most light, no question. This put out the most light of all and lasted the second longest behind the Luci. But it produced more light the whole time. And so if you don't need it to run 6 hours, you only need it to run 4 hours and you want it to produce the most light, this is it. So there are reasons why you would buy this, the great big huge solar panel being at the top of the list, and the fact that you can charge other things and it produces the most light, just not as long as the Luci light. This is number 2, and it's a tough choice. I would probably recommend this one more if you don't need to go 6 hours of light every night. This is probably the better choice. And then finally, this is a total shocker. This one is the KK Bowl. What a weird name. It's $11. It's a phenomenal deal. You can buy 2 of these for nearly the price of the one Luci, and use one until that battery died, and then use the other. And so this is a really, really great deal. In fact, I would probably recommend that you buy 2 of these instead of the one Luci. It puts out as much or more light than the Luci did. It just doesn't last as long. And it also has a much larger solar panel. Compare the solar panel size. This one's larger. And again, it charges, let me get this over here so you can see it. It charges by USB. So you can charge anything that uses a micro USB with this one, with this solar panel, for $10.99. So to me, buying 2 of these for the price of the one Luci is the best deal here, by far. Even buying 1 of these for almost not quite half the price, this is $20, two of these would be $22. Even 1 of these compete, I would still buy it on price. On price, bang for the buck, light for how long it lasts, nothing competes with this. It beats them all. The quality seems quite good. The light it puts out is quite good. I like a frosted light. 2 of these, killer deal. 2 of these for 20 bucks is the deal here of all of them. I'll just say that unquestionably. So there you go. There you have it. That's my results so far. I'm going to keep using them. I'm going to keep doing this same procedure, and I'll keep testing them. And I will also do a light at night and show you the amount of light they throw, so you have a direct comparison to the amount of light. So far, 3 clear winners. This one for a room light for 20 bucks, longest light, most usable light after 6 hours. This one, the most light of any of these 3, a big solar panel, charges other things. 2 of these for $2 more blows them all away, period. What clobbers the Luci light is you cannot USB charge it. To my mind, that kind of ruins it. If you have a day without sun, but you drive and you charge this off of your car as you drive, all these others, that gives them a big advantage. So to my mind, that kind of does reduce the value of the Luci light. Don't buy the Goal Zero. Don't buy this. This is too expensive. You're not getting enough for your money. Ultimately, buy this. 2 of these. Buy 2 of these and you'll be really happy. If they break, you still have one. And it's still $11. Phenomenal deal. So we'll come back later and I'll show you the amount of light they're producing, and then we'll be done. So this is the Moreski. I think it's about the most light of all of them. It's throwing a lot of light. I mean, I can see everything in a circle about at least 10 or 15 feet away from me. Yeah, that's a good idea. Show them how much light it's throwing. This is a fantastic amount of light. I think this is by far the most light of all of them. Okay, now what I'm going to do now is see how far it throws. There's a couple of creosote bushes. You can see the first creosote bush. This is the brightest one, and you get an outline of the second bush. So that's what gives you an idea. Now I'm going to do an unfair comparison. I carry a little flashlight in my pocket. I want to show you what a real flashlight will throw. But this is an area light, and this is outstanding area light. So you can see there that there are 3 creosote bushes. Can you see them all?
Yes.
You can see a long ways. This isn't a flashlight, but this is a great area light. Really a great area light. Okay, let me show you the next one. Okay, so now we're looking at the Sawaki, which is not a very good area light. Not terrible by comparison. If I put it down here, it's not so bad. Can you see the dogs?
Yeah.
One's black and one's tan. So, but this is the one I said was a pretty good flashlight. Now watch this. So if I turn it into a flashlight, now all of a sudden I got a lot of light. Right? There's the first bush. There's the second bush. So this is quite a good flashlight, and so it might be worth buying this as a flashlight. As an area light, not so much. The battery doesn't last very long, and it just doesn't throw enough light as an area to work with. I'll be right back with the light. So here is what I believe is our second brightest light, and by far the cheapest. This light is $10.99 and has a nice size solar panel. Look at the area light this thing throws. It's amazing. It lasts a long time. Doesn't last as long as the Luci, but boy, it just throws out an awful lot more light. And I think that's because the bigger solar panel lets it throw a lot of light into a bigger battery. And so it burns more. You can buy 2 of these for $22, and the Luci is $20. So 2 of these, to my mind, is a better deal. You use one as an area light until it's burned up, then you use the second one. The next day you recharge them, and you'll have much more light that will last much longer than the Luci by itself. Now let's look at the distance it throws. So I'm holding it in front of me, and there's the first bush and the second one. What you're seeing in camera is very different than what my eye is seeing.
Yeah.
I can easily see the third creosote bush from here,
yeah.
But the camera's not picking it up because I've got it set, so the camera's very dark. This is a true test.
Yeah.
This is putting out a lot more light than you're seeing. It puts out a phenomenal amount of light. This is a great light. This is my #1 recommendation. KK Bull, what a weird name. Now this is the Luci light, and I'll do it as an area light. That's a very good area light. It's not as good as the last 2 area lights, but it's still very good. Now it's much, much less than either of the last 2. With my naked eye, I can barely see the second creosote bush. So I just reached out my hand. I'm standing in the same place. And with my naked eye, it's very bright. Again, this lasts the longest of all of them. It's a decent area light. It's a good balanced light. They have a good reputation. You can't go wrong with buying the Luci light. Just be aware, it's not going to throw as much light as the last two, the KK Bull and the Moreski, and the Sawaki won't last probably about half of this, but it will be a flashlight, so it's a big advantage. Okay, I'll get the next light. So I'm standing on my my mark. It's putting out, I think, more light than the Luci, but it doesn't last as long. So I wouldn't recommend this as much as the Luci. Although I think it does throw more light.
Yeah.
But still, I think it's 25. It's the most expensive, and it puts out a good, decent amount of light, but not as much as the Luci. And so now I'm aiming it at the creosote bush. I've just extended my arm, so it's at like 3 feet. So this is a good light. It's $5 more. It doesn't last as long. It puts out a little better light than the Luci. I'd still have to give it to the Luci. Okay, this is the Goal Zero light. It's $20. It puts out a very yellow light, and the least amount of light so far of any we've looked at is 20 bucks. It doesn't last very long, couple hours if you're lucky. It's throwing a pretty good amount of light. I can see the second creosote bush with my naked eye pretty easily. There's no reason to buy this. Don't even consider this light. Okay, now these pathetic losers. Is there anything else to describe these?
You can't even see the ground.
You can't see anything. I can't see anything. I'm here. I can't see a thing. These are terrible lights. Terrible. They've been on for less than, this is how they look when you turn them on after a full day of charging. Terrible light. So these are Tongs Sorens. Do not buy them. Yeah, they're $8 each, but they're not even worth $8. So I don't know how much this shows up, but boy, man, I'm lighting this up. That's the two bulb ones, the KK Bull and the Moreski. Boy, these two put out a lot of light. Now, just for the heck of it, I'm going to show you a real flashlight. This is my Energizer. I bought this at Costco. I'm sure you can get it on Amazon. Now there's a flashlight. You buy a real flashlight, this is what you get. I mean, just as a comparison. I want you to see a comparison. But that's what's left from these two lights. That's just fantastic. So I'm going to wrap this thing up. The Luci is a good light. It puts out a good light. It's lasts the longest by far. I've gotten 6 usable hours out of it. That's really pretty amazing. But these two are my two champions. By far the KK Bull at $10.99, 11 bucks. You buy 2 of these. Oh, that's a sweet deal. They're micro. They charge with micro USB. You can charge other devices. So there you have it. Those are all my results. You can get the links for all these things are in the description below. They're great lights. I really recommend some of these. Some of these are crap. You don't even think about them. But now you know, don't you? So that was the idea. Okay, thanks for watching this video. If you got anything out of it, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, bang away at that thumbs up button. Write all your friends and say, hey, there's another way to live, and there's this weird guy who lives in the desert, and he'll tell you how to do it. If you'll do that, I'll be a very happy man, and we'll talk to you later.